Hello and welcome to Casting Roles, where a bunch of theater nerds and good friends play a little D&D. We're so happy that you joined us. To take a moment to subscribe to the show, it takes just a click and gains our unending thanks. Drop us a like and leave a comment for Campaign 2. Our videos are uploaded here on YouTube every Friday, and we have tons of great content to explore. We're down a Jace this week, as they're under the weather, but hopefully they'll be back next week. And so without further ado, let's go ahead and start the show. So last time, our crew of explorers found yourselves in the capital of Leonin culture in Highwall, Samartage. There, with the aid of your guide Barak, you met with Chieftain Dijon, who was reluctant to welcome you to the community, but softened when it was clear that you were allied with the giants of Mount Makda. After a tense conversation where Taj, the scout and advisor to the chieftain, filled you in on the broken truce with the Centaur tribe, you all explored the city, met some interesting characters, and then took Barak up on his offer to stay in his home for the evening. The rule of hospitality is a core principle of the Leonin culture. There, you met Barak's wife Saffron and his two children Lilac and Torch. You learned about the three explorers who visited the tribe and met their end there. You gained Vera's journal and also learned of the ancient culture of the Leonin, and that Barak is a descendant from the founder of the tribe and his sister Samar and her wife Alorna. As the evening descended towards sleep, a commotion rocked the community, and you all rushed outside to see an injured scouting party of Leonin bringing in a captured centaur. We'll pick up right there as Barak gathers his weapons and begins to head across the walkways to the cliff face and then down to the floor of the city, and you all find yourself alone outside of his home. What would you like to do?
Man.
What exactly is going on down there with the captured centaur?
Yeah, that's what we're going to go check out.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys walk over. So you walk across from the tree where Barak's home is, across kind of the rope bridge to the cliff face, and then down to the floor where you see them leading the centaur to kind of the end of, or the edge of the cliff face, where there is a metal structure built out with a cave behind it, and they open the door of it, push the centaur in, and then close and lock it behind them. This is kind of like the jail cell of it. And you see the three members of the Leonin scouting party, bloodied from clearly they had some kind of conflict or fight. And Barak is checking on them and overseeing kind of what's going on there. And you come across them, and one of the younger members of the scouting party is talking to Barak, and he says, found them on the northern edge of the cliff, heading towards one of the northern tribe cities. There were 5 of them. 2 left as soon as we encountered, but the other 3 stood to guard their retreat. Fight ensued. We heavily injured 2 of them, and they started to retreat as well when we captured this one. And Barak says, well, good work. I guess we can interrogate in the morning to see why they were so far from their home. Go get yourself cleaned up. And he kind of turns away and is momentarily shocked to see you standing there, but then kind of nods in your direction as the 3 scouting members kind of go and start nursing their wounds.
Can I make a perception check to see if there's anything unusual about the centaur?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
It's a centaur.
I mean, if he's wearing a badge of, he or she's wearing a badge of rank or
Yeah.
19.
19. So it is a male, and appears young, although you've never encountered a centaur before. The torso portion gives the appearance of being like a early 20s male, muscular and strong, dark tan skin, a dark blackish hair pulled back into a ponytail. There's scarring on his face, like maybe he had been in a fight with something or whatever that had healed, not exactly beautifully, or he's wearing it purposefully as a badge of honor. There's a leather strap across his chest that's holding a couple daggers, or would have been holding daggers. You can tell there's like a bandolier space for that there, as well as an empty quiver on his back. He's clearly been stripped of weaponry, but probably had a bow and arrows at some point. There's another bandolier around his lower torso, and an empty scabbard in the side for a short sword. And aside from the leather strap, you don't see any like badges or anything that you would recognize, but there are a few like colored stripes on the leather that goes across his chest that could potentially be like a symbol of rank or something like that, or they could just be decorative, but there's not like a badge.
I want to ask our guest, so what's going to happen to this this young centaur once you finish interrogating him? Is they're going to be a prisoner exchange, or
Bart kind of looks over towards the centaur and then back in your direction. Well, it's not exactly unheard of that we have skirmishes on the border, and there are individuals captured on either side, although centaurs are less likely to take prisoners. We will find out why they were here, and it is up to the chieftain whether we send them back with a warning, or that the warning is that we do not send them back.
it's a pretty intense warning there.
It would not be my desire to shed blood unnecessarily, but that is the call of the chief.
I'm here to. I'm there to hear this.
Yeah, all of you are there.
I think we're all here.
Yep.
Can I make an insight check?
Yeah.
I just want to know if he's like telling the truth or as a
We know he
force.
doesn't necessarily like the chief, so I would assume he's telling me.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, like, Bonnie reads it as him being honest. You haven't gotten the impression that Barak lies. He just sometimes obfuscates.
Well, mission is still a lie. Would it be overstepping if we spoke with the centaur?
I cannot see why. There will be a guard always present at the chamber, so you would not be having a private conversation with him, but
I wouldn't expect that at all, no. But just curious, what their motivations may have been if you're going to wait till the morning to officially interrogate him.
well, I think sometimes when the blood runs hot, it is nice to take a moment away to let all parties calm down so that a conversation can be had with cooler heads.
It's a good approach to take, I believe. Is anyone good at like interrogations or insights?
In this party?
I
I've got +4 investigation.
have plus.
I've got +6 to intimidation.
Yeah, I've got to go whiz.
I didn't pull. I'll pull up.
Yeah,
Lucky.
Plus 4
I
to
was gonna
insight.
say, I think Lucky has good ones.
I think
maybe?
it's insight. I think it's Lucky's
Yeah, I
big
think Lucky
strength.
has
I'm pulling
good
up
insight.
Lucky's character sheet now.
I think we need like an insightful person to sort of
You need a person to
ask if
talk, and then a person to think.
And if Lucky has good insight, I've got proficiency in it, so I can assist.
Yeah, Lucky has
Nice,
plus
nice.
8 to insight.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, lovely. I guess we just want to ask basics. Like who are you? What was your goal? When you encountered the Leonin, what were you doing so close to their territory? And
You walk up and start asking them these questions now.
well, first I want to, ask, like who are they? Introduce myself.
Okay. So you walk
And
up
build an
to
air of comfort between the two of us, perhaps.
you walk up to the kind of the metal enclosure, and there's metal bars with a gate, and it is like bolted into the side of the cliff face, and there's a cavern behind it that you can tell is not super deep, just kind of enough that somebody who's in there could get out if there was if there's rain, could get out of the elements a little bit. And the centaur with the the brown fur and hooves, and now getting close, you see that there's like leather wrappings around each of kind of the ankles that go over the hoof and have kind of a burnished design on them they just kind of depict like cultural design, like someone wearing a bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
And he is currently kind of pacing a little bit at the back of the space, trying to get a sense of the area and how much space is here. And when he hears you speaking in his direction, he turns and looks at you. It's odd to see the Leonin keeping pets on the other side of the fence.
Well, my understanding is that we're guests here, and I think to your benefit, entirely neutral parties. We're just kind of curious exactly what's going on. Maybe we can help you get out of that cage and get back home.
Oh, the bold of you to think that I would be getting out of this cage.
Is that not perhaps the best outcome for you?
He looks at the towering figure of Bark, kind of nearby. I think we both know what the outcome of this would be.
See, that's just the thing. I don't know what the outcome would be. I'm, like I said, completely neutral and completely new to whatever this conflict may be. Maybe you can shed some light on exactly what's going on for myself and my group here.
As you finish, he charges very quickly towards the iron gate and gets right up against it and goes, "You don't know what neutrality looks like on the plains. Where do you come from? Where are you wandering within the Leonin tribe?"
We actually come from across the sea, another continent.
More outsiders. Perhaps you
How
will
many outsiders have you
find
encountered?
the same fate as the ones that went to the Leonin tribe before. Do they still eat them here? And he kind of throws the question towards Barak, and Barak just and walks away as two guards
They eating people?
are approaching. Yeah.
They eating people out here now? Okay.
What befell them wasn't the fault of the Leonin.
He kind of turns his back to you, and his tail swishes against his back, almost like he's idly trying to get flies away, but it's also a dismissive gesture in a way. Sure.
Well, our understanding is that it wasn't the Leonin that caused the original outsiders to perish.
Believe
Is there
what you
something
will.
else that you could tell us?
He kind of hunkers down, and his folds his legs up underneath him and lays down the horse portion of his body.
Listen, if there's something that we need to know to protect ourselves, and you're the one to give us the information, don't you think that sort of indebts us to you a bit? Maybe we could help your situation. So if you know something that would protect us, I would like to know, and I would guarantee that I would definitely be in your debt.
He looks at both of the guards present. Do you think that they will let you just walk out of the village, having seen all of that you have seen?
According to them, they've done it before, and
they let someone walk out of the village, did they?
Well, we'll see how that goes tomorrow then, won't we?
Is he being sincere, or is he just trying to...
Insight check.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll use Lucky's insight.
With advantage.
You can roll it, Kieran, and add +8.
Bonnie,
Okay.
you feel like Andulus is like grabbing onto part of your coat, and you sense he's like trying not to say something.
That's a natural 19
Nice.
+8.
+8. Ooh.
Yeah.
So that's a 28.
27.
Okay, so I mean that's very high.
27.
Yeah, you're getting the sense that there's a lot of bravado and a lot of like he's trying to appear strong and unbothered by what is occurring here, but it's the constant looking over at the Leonin that are present. You understand that he could be lying right now.
Mm-hmm.
He could be telling the truth, but he's going to say whatever is acceptably safe to say in the presence of the captors that are around him.
How many Leonin are around us?
There's 2 young guards now. They probably look, I mean, they're too young to be scouts, but old enough to be adult and have a role here in the village.
Yeah.
They're college freshmen.
Yeah. They're on
I want to see if
it's an internship.
I want to see if I can persuade them to give us a little bit of breathing room. Now I'll just turn to them and say, "Listen, guys, I think maybe you can give us a little bit of space and see if we can get out of this guy. He's obviously not going anywhere. I don't think he's going to be too cooperative if you guys are, snarling at him while he's caged up."
Make a persuasion check.
Hey, persuade me. Okay.
I would like
Anyone
to
want to give me?
How are you? How's Bonnie helping?
standing over his shoulder.
I don't think
looking.
I need it. I got a 25, unless I need higher than
Okay,
25.
never mind.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, you would need a lot higher than 25 probably.
Oh no.
Because like, if anything else, these 2 individuals have been told to stand here and not move. And like the one of them that's a little bit taller than the other one, like, kind of whatever the adolescent appearance of, kind of goes, Barak says that we are not supposed to walk away from here and always supposed to keep an eye on here until we have a shift change, and then we can walk away and go as someone else comes in to replace us.
Well, couldn't you stand over there and you're still watching and you're still in the area, but just not as close?
We would have to stand here so that we can hear what's going on.
That's perfectly understandable. I wouldn't want you 2 fellas to get in any trouble.
Well,
I'm going to. Oh, go ahead.
it's not about getting into trouble. It's, we would like to be able to do our job right and be recognized for doing a good job. because then we could potentially move up into the scouting parties.
Well, if you gave us some space and got information that made this process easier, that might help you guys advance a little faster. I mean, you could say you played an important hand in getting information out of the prisoner.
Besides, when you're out scouting, there's not going to be anyone to tell you what to do. You're going to have to show some initiative.
Well, right now we were told to stand here until our shift change.
Yeah, but that initiative thing was also pretty big. I mean, that's how I was ranked up on my ship. It's just when I saw a problem, it needed to be handled, I stepped up and I took care of it. But
when people go against the chief's orders here, they do often not go up in rank, and sometimes they find themselves not in Sabotage.
They exile you?
Or to one of the outlying villages.
Oh, yeah.
well, that's unfortunate. I might have another idea then. I'll turn to the Centaur and I will begrudgingly dive into the pool of magic that I currently have to rely on, and I'll use my awakened mind to establish a telepathic connection with
awesome
the Centaur.
So cool.
I was going to ask if anybody had message, but this is much better.
Well, the additional bonus here is that casting a spell is obvious.
Yeah,
like,
this is
they
not
would see you casting a spell. This is not a spell.
Yeah. This is,
fucking
yes.
cool.
So I'll just look at him, make eye contact, and he'll hear in his mind my voice, since we speak the same language. Obviously, we've established that. Is it okay? I kind of get the sense that you don't want to talk too openly with these two guards here. But I meant what I said. If there's something that my party needs to know and you help us out, we'll make sure we do everything we can to get you out of here safely.
I'm going to, while he's doing this, engage the guards in small talk if I can.
Okay.
Or get them to show me their weapon or whatever, so that they're not paying. It's one of those. If they're bird dogging, they're going to see facial expressions and things. But if distract them where, okay, there's obviously no conversation going on, and the Centaur's just sitting there. So
yeah, go ahead and make a persuasion check, Kieran.
Can someone roll for me? My cat's on my arm.
Ravik, as you start to speak into his mind, there's like a level of shock that appears across his face. What was the roll for?
Oh, you got a 19, baby.
19.
What do you add to that 19?
Is that +6, I think?
For what should I use? Persuasion is +4.
Oh, +4. Okay. That's not bad. 25. Yeah. So you get the two kind of guards. They do not move, but you pull their attention away from where Ravik is standing, looking into the thing. And that's a very nice. I don't understand. How do you hurt things with the wooden blade?
Well, see, wood can be sharp. Has your mother ever smacked you with a switch? With a switch?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Hurt, didn't it?
Well, it was very thin. And
so
whippy.
this is bigger, so it's going to hurt worse.
And you can you hunt with it?
Up close.
Oh. But that's not... You think you could take down a buffalo with a wooden sword?
Given enough time? Absolutely.
Yeah, Mr. Kieran is very good.
All right, so this conversation kind of continues with Andalus and Kieran and talking to the two as the Centaur has a very shocked look on his face, Ravik. And you speak into his head, and you hear back from him. Are you working with him then? You're muted, Ronnie?
We're not working with anyone, obviously. We are, just as I said, visitors, explorers, come to this continent to learn as much as we can, to build connections. Just so happened we ran into the Leonin before we ran into your people.
Explorers from, you say, another continent. You mean, of course, from one of the pools.
One of the... What do you mean by one of the pools?
You are talking in my head. You are a shape changer, are you not?
No, absolutely not. No. We're from a continent called Illyria. We were the only place that was not engulfed by the veil. And,
Make a persuasion check. He's trying to insight. He thinks you're lying to him.
Okay. Persuasion.
With disadvantage because you are speaking in his head.
I mean, hasn't he seen magic before?
He has, and that's the problem.
Disadvantage for being creepy.
Creepy and charismatic. 13.
He kind of he stands up a little bit and moves away from the fence as kind of as far back as he can, like under the eave of the cave, and he's just looking at you. When the moon comes out, you are going to change. They always do. They are dark ones that work here with the Leonin. You are one of them.
I guarantee you, I will not change. None of my party will change. I'm not a shape shifter from any pool.
Mm-hmm. They're filled with magic and lies. I bet you can teleport from place to place at will.
There are other types of magic, good magic, that some of my party can tap into, but we're not shape changers. Why are you so afraid of these shape changers?
Because they've come from out of the pools. They come into the villages at night. They steal our young. They take the forms of people. They cause problems and pain. They are Aster's will, and they want to take over this continent.
Aster's will.
Mm-hmm.
Who's near me that's...
Bonnie, Andalus and Kieran are involved in the deception. So Bonnie's and Lucky are next to you.
I'll whisper to Bonnie and Lucky, Aster. What do we know about a being called Aster? Do we know what Aster?
Also, Ronnie, notably, this is the same thing the Leonin told us that the Centaurs were doing to them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's obvious that these fey creatures are sowing some discord between the two groups. Okay, I honestly believe that there's a third party at work trying to perpetuate this conflict between you, Centaur, and the Leona here. Now, if we can help to stop that, I hope that you'll do everything you can to assist us.
How long does the ability last?
Oh, it lasts within 5 miles. Lasts for 4 minutes. Ends early if I use the ability to form a connection with another creature.
Okay, 4 minutes. Okay, yeah. So you are rapidly running out of time in this conversation. I'm going to give you another persuasion check with disadvantage to see if he will continue. Because right now, he is very much convinced with the magic that you have shown him that you are one of these shape changers.
With disadvantage. Let's see. Big money, no problems. Big money, no problems. Let's see. A 14.
14. He just kind of You will need to bring better proof that you are what you say you are, if you want anything from me. Are you here to take their children like you take ours? And
We're not here to take anyone. I'll stay
he's
here.
He's like shaking his head, like
out.
he's trying to like get your voice out of his head.
I'll stay here until the moonlight comes out, and I'll prove to you I'm not any type of shapeshifter. None of my people are.
He doesn't respond, and the connection severs.
All right. I'll tell the guards, do you mind if I hang out a bit? Just help you guys keep an eye on the Centaur here. Just this whole situation sort of strikes me as odd.
Well, we will be here to watch the Centaur until our shift change. I'm not told whether or not to tell you to go somewhere else. So, I think.
All right. Well,
he kind of looks at the one next to him, and the other one like shrugs, and he's like, "You can, you are a free person."
all right, then we'll hang out. We'll get to know each other a little bit. How's that sound?
When he says you're a free person, the Centaur goes, "Maybe not a person."
This guy's. You might have hit him in the head a little too hard when they brought him in.
If these guys were smart, that would be a roll, but these aren't very smart guys.
Yeah, so I'll debrief really quickly with the rest of the group.
Do you do it away from the two guards?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I'll let them know I was able to speak to him telepathically. He's telling us a story similar to the Leonin. Apparently, from what I can gather, they're shapeshifters coming out of the Fey Pond.
Well, at least he knows that they're shapeshifters versus the Leonin who think they're centaurs.
Yeah. So, looks like we've got our work cut out for us if we want to get help from either one of these groups. We don't need shape-changing Fey creatures trying to stir up a war between centaurs and Leonin if we're going to establish connections or trade with either one of the groups, honestly.
Does anybody know what kind of creatures from the Fae could change their shapes?
Maybe I.
Andalus might have learned some of this. Yeah, roll a history check to see what you remember from your training.
Let's see what I remember.
I'm proficient in history. Can I help?
I don't. Has Ravik encountered a lot of Fae stuff?
Is the question.
Well, I grew up with an elf and a half elf, right?
Yeah, but they're
So
like
maybe
their families hadn't lived in the Fae for a really long time. Like Andalus's training, it would definitely involve Fae stuff, but I don't think that's something that is. I mean, you can roll with disadvantage if you like.
Does my
No, I just wanted to help Andalus, not roll myself.
Does my pocket watch give me a reroll? Is that what it gives me?
No, the pocket watch.
I keep forgetting what it does. I meant to write it down.
I put it in the chat for your chat.
And you do have an inspiration.
You have an inspiration.
No, I used it last session. I remember.
Oh yeah.
So can I give the help action to give advantage?
Well, you would have disadvantage. You would have disadvantage. So if Andalus can't have advantage on the roll, but I will allow them to add half of your proficiency to their roll.
Okay.
Which is what? 1?
See what it does.
It's just a +2, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that only gives me an 8, so we tried.
With your amulet?
My amulet is only for attacks.
Oh, is it only for attacks? Okay, cool. Yeah. A +8. Yeah, it's Andalus struggled some in all like the book learning portions of their training. And never went to the Fae themselves. And a lot of the conversations were just like never trust a Fae, never ever make a bargain with them, never ever give them your name, like these, like you remember these types of things, and as far as Andalus is aware, every single thing that exists from the Feywild can change its shape, and it was always a different shape, and like you never know what is Fey and what isn't.
Mm-hmm. I just say some of these random facts, but I don't know any what specifically. But a lot of things can't.
Creature, yeah. Gosh, would Andalus recall how to expose a Fey creature that shifted?
Particularly one that shows its true nature in the moonlight.
Yes, and I'll mention that Centaur had mentioned the moonlight exposing the Fey creatures, but outside of that, is there anything that we can do to help expose a Fey creature's true form instead of just waiting around till the moon comes out?
Josh, if I may, you asked that, and Andulus is like suddenly like very cagey about it.
Yeah, like doesn't want to give the like. You can say Andalus like you don't know. You would know. This is above the table. Like Andalus would know that certain spells have the power to reveal, and Andalus may even be thinking that the Centaur doesn't understand how the magic works and just thinks that moonlight exposes them, because there is a spell called Moonlight that can cause a shape changer to take its true form, right? And you would be aware of that.
No one here has that, Lucky.
I don't think Lucky has that spell.
It's something they could learn on a different day.
Oh, and not high enough level yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Andulus gets weird when you ask specifically, like when especially you wording the question that way. He's like, I just don't think I feel comfortable talking about that. I mean,
Hey,
I know it could help, but that's, I don't know, really strong information.
All right. Well, if you decide that saving these two civilizations is important enough, you share that with us at some point, okay? In the meantime, I'll hang out here with the guards. Maybe when the moonlight does come out, it'll convince our Centaur friend to loosen his lips a little bit. When he...
Unfortunately, as Ravik knows, you are probably, I think you're in the new moon.
Oh, well, that's... Well, I'll still hang out. Yeah, I'll still hang out, and I will just chat up the guards, telling them stories of me being on the open seas and the wild adventures and anecdotes, and sort of chat them up and then see what I can get out of these two little nincompoops while
okay. Yeah,
they guard the Centaur.
You guys, the new moon was 2 days ago, so like there will be a sliver of a moon, but not like moonlight. Yeah. Okay. So Ravik is hanging out with the guards with a untrusting Centaur in the cage, just like now not able to sleep, just watching you. As what are the rest of you all doing? We're now probably approaching 11 or 12 o'clock at night. It's getting rather late.
Bonnie's not going to quite know where to proceed from here, so she's actually going to go to sleep.
Okay. So you return to Barak's home. And there's like 3 chambers to the home. There's like the large living chamber. There's like Barak and his wife's chamber. And the children seem to like sleep just like in piles just of like comfy stuff like out like near the fireplace, and then there's a third chamber that probably is mostly used for storage, but it looks like Barak has put some cushions and things out there so that you all have a space to lay down and call for your evening. When you return, you walk into the living space, and Barak and his wife are like having a hushed conversation, kind of over by the fire. The children are now asleep in their like little cubbies. And when they walk in, they kind of look up and see you. Barak says, did everything go all right there? Sorry to walk away. I couldn't stand to hear lies spoken so boldly.
It went as well as I really expected it to.
Well, as I said, sometimes it is better to allow tempers to cool if you are to get the information that you want from someone.
Oh, I agree. What he did say one thing that I was curious about. What do your people believe as far as the pools go?
He kind of looks at you quizzically for a moment. A little more information. Pools could mean a lot of things.
Well, that Centaur was talking about how we were like pool people.
Pool peep. You mean the lay pools?
That could be it.
Oh, well, ever since the ley lines changed and the veil retreated, pools have been opening to the Feywild. There's some fear among some in Samartage and other Leonin communities that there are Fey entities that are coming out of those pools, working with the Centaurs. You know, the Fey have a fondness for stealing the children of people, replacing them with changelings. So...
Yeah, you said something to that effect.
That has not happened in Samartage, but some of the outlying communities talk of shadows in the night coming and children disappearing. But the baying of rural bumpkins sometimes must be taken with a grain of salt.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Yes, and I do not mean any offense if you are also a rural bumpkin.
Oh, I'm just a big rural bumpkin. It's fine.
He kind of like, his wife kind of looks at him and like touches his shoulder, and then she goes into the chamber, the bed chamber, and Barak sits by the fire for a moment, kind of sharpening a spearhead, just thinking and in thought.
Kind of enjoy the fire a little bit, but just eventually go through my like bedtime routine.
Okay. Kieran and Angeles?
I think I'm chilling with Kieran. Want to chat with him.
Okay. Where do you guys move away from the cage, or do you?
Yeah, somewhere kind of private-y.
Okay. The most private place right now in town, I mean, most everybody has gone on to sleep, but there are still some people down in the shopping area, like organizing things, like getting boxes ready for probably the morning. If you go up to the second or third floor of the cliff face area, those are like the governmental spaces. And while they're like closed down for the evening, there's not a lot of traffic up there. So you could go up that way, which would gives you a full view of the whole city of Samartage.
Mr. Kieran.
Yes, Angeles.
Why would the Fae want to, if it is them, these changelings want to mess with both sides like this?
That's a good question. One thought that comes to mind is that they're trying to do something somewhere and don't want anyone interrupting them. They could be chaos beings that just love throwing a wrench in the spanner. There could be some larger play that we don't know because we don't have enough information about the continent yet.
But we have to let them know they're both wrong about each other. That's
Right. And to do that, we need to get their trust or find irrevocable proof of the opposite. Find irrevocable proof of that they're both being manipulated.
and I don't want him to get hurt. Do you think we can convince them to let us take him back?
I don't know. We could convince him to take him back,
Or
but we might convince him that he's more valuable alive than dead as a bargaining chip, and that would at least buy us some time.
Okay. I'll try to help.
You always do.
He looks up at you big-eyed. Really? You think I always help?
Yes, that thing you did with turning the ground into moss. That would have helped if the bison had managed to get by Bonnie.
Yeah, I just didn't want them to hurt her cart. Or any of us, I guess.
And you succeeded.
Okay. Thank you.
For what?
Oh, just for talking with me.
I'm happy to talk to you anytime.
Oh. It's embarrassed. Okay.
You notice his accent has slipped a little bit.
Interesting. Wow, he's so cool. He can do multiple accents. Wow. The coolest guy I know. Well, anything you need, Mr. Kieran. I'll help you with anything.
I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And likewise.
Oh, yeah. It's fine. But yeah, sure. All right. That's it. That's all he's going to talk to you about. He's going to stand there awkwardly.
So you guys are kind of standing up at the top of the cliff, looking out at the village. Any intention to go to sleep, or are you kind of keeping an eye out to see what Ravik's up to?
I'm going to tell Kieran that I'll go back because I want to watch the kids and make sure they're okay.
Yeah, and Kieran will do his 4 hours of sleep trance thingamabob so that he gets a full 8, but is awake as much as possible.
Okay, yeah. Ravik at the cave.
He'll actually probably talk to Bonnie and say, do you want to take first watch? You're going to watch for part of the time, and then I'll watch so you can get some sleep.
That'll work for me.
Okay. Are you keeping watch outside the house, Bonnie?
Yeah.
Okay.
So at the doorway.
Yeah, the houses are kind of built on platforms, and there's like a ringing walkway around the outside that then connects to the main pathway that all the other like the tree houses are on, and then those go out to the walkways, the kind of rope bridges that go across from the trees to the cliff face. So you can stand out on that little walkway and kind of keep a good look out at the village spread out below you. Ravik, what do you do?
Ravik is just spending time with the guards. That's the guys. Really, I want to keep an eye out. I'm concerned that the Centaurs might want to strike and retaliate in the middle of the night, knowing that their people were attacked and someone was taken hostage. But also, I'm trying to build rapport with some of the lower rank guards and see if they're, going to give any information, because the Centaur did mention, do you really think they're going to let you leave? I want to see if there's any truth to any of those concerns that the Centaur guy may have had. So while I'm chatting them up, I'm looking to see, what happens normally when people come to visit. How do you treat them? When they leave, do they give them like big stacks of supplies, and are they allowed to leave?
during the conversation, like what I'm saying, well, we don't typically have a lot of outsiders here in Centaur. You have to come through the gorge to get here, and that can be treacherous sometimes. Or you have to go all the way around to the north side, which means you have to go through the Centaur territory. And there's another gorge there that has a very weird temple at the back. They say it's important, but I don't think it's probably safe to go there. It looks kind of weird, and there's a lot of dead bodies around it. But we don't have a lot of visitors. No people come here to see the all that's down here is the mountains and the valley of the Opal. And then where the bison, they like to breed down here too, around the lake.
What about this gorge with the dead bodies? No one's ever thought to figure out why there's so many dead that collect around there?
Oh, they're long dead. Many years. I think the temple was probably pretty important before all that shadowy veil thing happened. It's where they used to keep the seed of the plains, the symbol of the truce between the Centaurs and the Leonin, but they say that was stolen away by the prince. And that is the only thing that gets the Centaur to finally, he kind of shouts out, "That's a lie. The prince would never."
Well, what is your understanding of the story about this seed of the plain?
He kind of says, "The Leonin, they took it, I'm sure, but the prince would never."
Well, the Leonin are saying that they don't have it. Is that correct? I asked the guards.
Well, no, they say that that's where it's gone, and they assume that it was taken by the Centaur because it's no longer in the temple. Well, it's not in the temple. It's like outside the temple, but it's no longer there.
Seed of the plain.
Yeah. And this is earlier today, that was what Dijon told you, is that Prince Camorda was the one who stole the seed of the plains.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I'll hang out for as long as I can, and eventually I'll probably try to get some sleep while I'm there, honestly.
Okay, you like find a spot
if
to
I
A little bedroll out.
yeah, if I feel comfortable enough to.
I mean, there's two guards standing here, and there's the.
Yeah, I've gotten some information from them, and I feel comfortable. Well, we're not gonna get any further tonight.
Okay.
I'll just hang out with them.
So you're not really paying. You're paying attention here. Bonnie, make a perception check for your watch.
My computer's frozen, so I can roll.
Oh no!
Do you want me to roll for you?
Well, thankfully, I have my character, like it's frozen on my character screen, so I have all my numbers. 5.
5. Okay. Bonnie, you're walking around, and you realize that where you are up in the trees, that the leaves are kind of blocking your vision of what's happening down in the village a little bit, but Bonnie doesn't mind, just kind of passing the time there. Andalus, you come back, pass by Bonnie and head inside, and see both of the children asleep, cuddled up in various places, kind of torches further from the fireplace. Lilac is closer to the fireplace, but they're just in a little cushiony balls there.
I go over to Lilac and I try to gently just wake her up.
Okay. She kind of, what? Is it time for breakfast?
Not yet, but here, I made you something. and I like pull out the like kind of like not super well crafted whistle. I haven't made one before, but it still works. It's just not super pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And I hand it to her.
What is it?
It's a whistle. Don't use it right now.
She was like 2 seconds.
Don't use it right now.
Okay.
But you know, if a stranger comes up to you or you feel like you're in trouble, you should use this, and someone will come help you.
Is it magical?
Yeah.
Make a deception check against the child's curiosity.
Child. Can I deceive a child?
It's so appropriate that a child rolled that low. Okay.
Yep, I got a 13.
Okay. She goes, "Wow, it's a magical whistle."
Yeah.
Will you be the one that comes? If I call, will it calls you to?
If I'm within hearing distance. Whoa.
Oh, but it's magical, so the hearing distance is probably a lot further.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how it works.
Okay. Well, I won't tell anybody because sometimes they say that we shouldn't have magical things sometimes.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, well, you can go back to sleep. I just wanted to get you that.
Okay. She like takes the whistle and puts it in a little pocket in the dress that she's wearing. And then she curls back up and is asleep quickly.
Okay. That's cute. All right. I park myself at the entrance of the house so I can see the children and then watching guard.
Okay.
I'm doing my little trancey trance while I sit here.
All right. So Kieran trancing in sleeping space. Bonnie also walking around. Ravik curled up asleep over by the cage, and Andalus not asleep at the entrance.
Mm-hmm.
About 3 hours pass, Bonnie, and then you can go wake up Kieran for watch while you decide to go finally lay down to sleep. So Kieran gets the benefits of a long rest.
Okay. And the 7 I rolled for my perception is higher than the 5 from Bonnie. That gives me an 11 total.
An 11 total. Okay. So as we get to about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, it is not that you see anything in the village, because that is a low enough roll that you wouldn't see anything. But thankfully, you're not the only person keeping an eye on the village, because around 2, a horn blows from the front side of the village, and immediately Barak, who had gone in to talk to his wife and had clearly not slept yet, like they were up having a conversation, comes out of the chamber and is strapping a spear across his back and is heading out the door. And he just kind of says, that's a warning, but warning horn, something is in the village. And he is out the door and is heading towards out away from the trees so that he has a better view of what's going on in the village. Ravik, you would wake up where you are hearing that. Bonnie, jostled out of your rest. You don't get the benefits of a long rest yet. Kieran, awake. Andalus, awake.
Mm-hmm. Is anyone else here with me? No one else is here, right?
So you're inside the chamber. I think Kieran's sleeping inside, so he was in there.
Oh,
no, sorry. Bonnie's sleeping inside. Kieran's outside keeping watch.
Okay, yes. So I turn to Bonnie and I'm like, should we go try to help?
Bonnie's like already throwing stuff on and like moving out, and she's like, yes, let's go.
What, should I stay here and watch the kids?
Good idea.
Okay, get Lucky to call for me if you need me.
We'll do that.
Okay. So Lucky, Andalus staying at the house. Bonnie.
Well, if Lucky's staying at the house, I can go.
I'll
Anytime.
well, let's see. I mean, it's up to you guys. Like, I'm not gonna. So
I'm fine if you want. If you want to like kind of leave Lucky there, then that accomplishes my goal, and I can go do other things.
Okay. So Andalus, Bonnie, Kieran, do you go with them?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys walk across the bridge out of the tree canopy over to the area, and you see Barak is like down on the second level, kind of pacing and keeping an eye out. You guys are up on the third level. Ravik, you wake up and you're seeing the commotion. The two guards are like standing very much at attention. It was about to be our shift change, but things have gotten busy.
We're all staying here to protect the Centaur.
That our job is to stay here and keep the Centaur in. We have to stay here.
Okay, all right. Just two of the brightest candles. Okay, well that's where do you all usually meet up whenever the alarm sounds?
Well, that's the scouts from the main entrance. But there's no walls around the city, so really, if somebody's coming in, they could come from any direction.
Okay.
So
I'll just post up here with you all, then this will work.
Okay. All right. So with that in mind, we are going to go ahead and take a quick 5-minute break. And then I will show you what's happening as none of you rolled a high enough perception to catch it before it gets close enough to you that initiative will be rolled. So we'll come back with initiative at 11s as we go, but we'll take a quick 5 and we'll come back with that. All right. So as our crew is kind of setting up, I'm going to give you a view of the world. Battle map will set up here and then kind of figure out what's happening. Please forgive the fact that I couldn't build tree houses. So you just want to approximate as best as we can. But
wow.
So this is the cliff face here. With the first level or the first level of cliff face and then the second level. I didn't build the third level up. And we said that Andalus and Kieran.
What's the wire? The wire in front of the camera there.
Oh, sorry, that's my mic wire. Andalus and Kieran had come over this direct. Where's my Kieran mini? Where did you go, Kieran? I had you.
It's the blue one.
Oh, you're trapped in the spider webs? Okay, so Bonnie and Kieran, you were kind of over here. These ladders are the staircases that go up and down. I didn't have a staircase. And then, so those will get you up and down to the different levels. But you guys are over here. Ravik, you are at the pen where the Centaur is. So you're over here on the ground level. And then at the house, we've got the children and then Saffron are over here.
And Lucky.
And Lucky is here at the house. So this piece here is the house. And then these are just holding weight. But the other houses and walkways and things down here for this central tree house. And then you got your walkways going. And then Andalus, or sorry, Bonnie, where did we say you were?
I was wandering around.
No, you had gone to sleep and were throwing your stuff on, and you were with us, I thought.
Okay, so you came over here as well. So Bonnie,
Yeah.
Kieran, and Andalus on the second level here, the first level, and then Ravik all the way over by himself. Let me kind of zoom down so all of you are in the field of vision there. So Ravik all the way across at the back. And then the three of you up here with Lucky up here with the children. Barak is down here walking around. And then there's other ones as well. And So you all don't see anything happening, except the scouts blew their horn. Let me roll a perception check for Barak. And so there's nothing to be seen until finally around this spot. You all see a shadow creature, like you just fought at the ship just a few days ago, running across this rope bridge, and then he kind of disappears into the tree space here. And that's what you see kind of popping into your vision. And then a few moments later, just like in the shadows under the tree, another one is running here. Coming in the back side, another one is running over by where Ravik is back in the back. I'm knocking down all my trees. And then charging up here towards Barak is a fourth one. And then finally, once they all start to move and get into position, you see that they're like moving towards houses. They're moving towards areas. A large creature kind of walks up, blood dripping off of a mace in his hand, as probably dealt with the scout that had warned them that there was something coming. You see a creature walking into the village as things go. And
Take dibs.
Yep. So this is where you guys are all set up, as these what appear to be shadow creatures have positioned themselves in the village without your knowing. But now that they're like in position and are starting to move, they're not stealthing anymore. They've gone into full movement and actions. So technically they will have a round before you all go. But then we'll pick up there with initiative and what happens next. But the one that disappeared into the trees does seem to be making a beeline towards Barak's home.
Mm-hmm. Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. And so probably the last thing we hear before we cut for next week is the sound of a
whistle.
Blowing from Barak's house.
Not the whistle.
Yeah, and that's where we'll pick up next week.
Gosh.
Why do you want to break our hearts?
I know, it's great.
It was a narrative whistle.
Somebody gave a whistle. So
I almost said something, and I'm glad I didn't, because it led to this great moment. But I almost said, because like when y'all were leaving, and it was like, call us if you need help or anything. I was like, yeah, do you have like some kind of whistle that I could like, like blow
so
or
funny.
something like that?
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I set that up last session.
That's fun.
yeah, and you guys are real spread out. So
I know, and I'm so squishy.
Oh.
yeah.
Well, that's charisma.
Kieran's
that's
gonna go
life,
challenge the mace one.
Mace Man.
So that is crying for a one-on-one challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ronnie,
This is
repeat
gonna be a
after
fight.
me.
That's like-
Charisma casters are not tanks.
Yeah.
Casters are not tanks.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
speak for
I know.
yourself.
Now you can get out of this really easily by casting Misty Step and telling the Centaur that you are exactly what he thought you were.
You're like, look, I'm not with them.
I'm not a Fae, but I'm gonna Misty Step. Hold on. Like,
I'm not a Fae. Also, bye.
yeah,
He
but
doesn't have to see me Misty
yeah.
Step.
but it does appear to be like shadow creatures. Like they're giving off that smoky essence around them, and they are that like canine appearance, like you just fought recently. Although the hulking figure does not seem to be a shadow creature.
Yeah, what's their
It's
deal?
crazy.
Yeah. I was trying to find a bigger. That's the biggest. It's a bugbear mini. It's the biggest mini. I guess I could use it this.
How big is this thing?
So he's probably about the same height as Barak. So Barak is about 7 feet tall. So he's about the same height. And Barak's built, but like this guy's even more built than him.
Barak is built. This man is jacked.
Yeah, this guy's like Barak's natty, and this guy is not natty.
Roids.
Yeah. But he's there. And it's not... Kieran would never have seen someone like this before, so it's out of Kieran's wheelhouse of knowledge. It's also dark here. I mean, there's like light torch fire throughout the village, but it's not daylight. And
it's in the middle of the night.
So. It's in the middle of the night, and so there's certain areas of the map like where there's going to be heavy shadow because of that, and just knowing that like the creatures, part of the reason they were able to stealth in past you is that they were maneuvering in the shadows. So
yeah, wow, that's
got literally no spell slots.
Oh my god.
So I'm just...
Short time.
You get them back on a short rest.
I mean, I never said I short rested though, right? So
you said that you laid down to rest. You did not get a long rest, but I will give you the benefits of a short rest.
Well, thank you, DM. Let me mark that now.
You had at least an hour of downtime.
You had the audacity to just sit in the jail and rest. So you gain.
Over there all by yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny, actually.
He wasn't by himself. He was with Queen Lee.
Not gonna,
that's why it's so funny.
I'm going to take the opportunity to chat people up.
Yeah, him just laying on the ground like, hey, so what do you do?
the side lean to Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Centaur's over there just being like,
shirt unbuttoned.
Don't trust him. Don't trust him. Don't trust him.
Oh my god.
Centaur's just like, this day went from bad to weird.
Yeah. He's waiting to watch this like shapeshifter eat the Leonin outside the cell. So he's just like, come on, show your true self.
We all come back. There's a weird foursome going on. No.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I'm kidding. Of course.
Leave that in the episode, Josh. Along with
all of this will be in
it's discussion from last time.
Also, I know that like I said, Aster's will, and you thought it was just Aster's. Like you would have picked up on the W is also like a capital letter. Like Aster's will is a title or a name.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Aster's
just a guy named Will that Aster has.
And what did what did he say about Aster's will again?
He said that
you're silent.
Right.
Basically implied that the shapeshifters were working for Aster's will.
Aster's, yeah, gotcha. What did I write now?
Megan the Stallion? Okay.
Oh.
What is that? This is synchronicity because this is the third time that a random person outside of any connection has mentioned Megan the Stallion.
What the hell?
In the last 24 hours.
Okay, listen, she has joined the K-pop community, so we're talking about her a lot.
There you go.
What?
Yeah, she did a song
Megan.
she did a song with Twice, and so she's a K-pop fan now.
I love that I sent you that video. I was like, well, how many people are in a K-pop band? And you were like, well, this is 17, so it's probably a lot. I love that their name is just how many members are in the group.
I think they have 16 members. I don't even think they have 17, which is ridiculous.
That's a misnomer.
I hate that. See, I hate K-pop. It's stupid. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
The executives
they only have 13.
Of Aster's will.
They only have 13 members.
13, but they're called 17. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Like the crazy 88.
Anyway.
Yeah. Just for your planning purposes, going up and down between the shelves is it's about 15 feet of movement or 20 feet of movement because it's down staircases. So just knowing that like moving from level to level is about 15 feet.
Not if you jump.
Not if you jump. That's true. It is 5, 10, 15. It's about each level is about 20 feet tall. So
I'm 30. I can't jump anymore.
Courtesy statement, Rob, your screen is reflected in the Serenity poster.
Oh, that's funny.
That's awesome. Yeah. Also, I was really worried that you were able to see that the Stormlight Archives is what's holding up this whole map, but you can't see it. So it's okay.
Incredible.
I was like,
That's
what
a structural
like, what-
Brandon
what
Sanderson.
book do I have that's tall enough to represent a whole level of this? Oh, I've got the Stormlight Archives right here.
Brandon Sanderson or Tad Williams.
I've got Tab Williams somewhere around here too.
Brandon Sanderson, now the literal foundation of our fantasy universe.